Welcome to the Locked In Baseball Podcast. I'm William Locke. He is Luis Barranco. We're live in Miami, Florida. We're here. This is Saturday, 3/14, which is actually Pi Day. We're here for the WBC, your hometown, but it is our Seattle Mariners season preview as well, so we got to get these previews in.
So I won't be needing these because if we're in Seattle, it's always raining in Seattle in the Pacific Northwest, as they say. But happy Pi Day. Happy Pi Day. I know listeners are listening to this next week, I believe.
Yeah, so it drops Monday the 17th, something like that.
Monday the 16th. Monday the 16th. So that'll be WBC semifinal 2, which we'll be watching here in the next 30 minutes after we finish Puerto Rico, Italy.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys listen to by this time it's already over. So we predicted Italy versus
Japan.
Japan. So yeah.
We're going to the Venezuela-Japan game tonight. DR-US tomorrow. Going to be a lot of great content coming out from those games. So obviously those have happened, but if you want to see it, give us a follow, Locked In Baseball Media, on all social medias, TikTok, Instagram. We will have a WBC podcast coming out sometime Monday. It's probably already dropped Monday by the time you're listening to this, so check that out. This is our Mariners preview, though, so we do want to talk Seattle.
But will we have batting cage content?
Well, we'll see. He always wants to go to the batting cages.
What do you mean? I feel like I could hit like a good softball. Fast pitch or slow pitch. I feel like I can do some damage.
All right.
Look. You see, I wasn't that. I'm not. I do have hand-eye coordination, but not hand-eye coordination of a guy like Julio Rodriguez. I will say that. But without further ado, Seattle Mariners this year. Let's talk about them. A lot of controversy has been surrounding this team recently with the whole WBC, Randy Arozarena, Cal Raleigh handshake, a lot of moves in the offseason, the acquisition of Brendan Donovan, as we spoke about in a prior podcast. And in addition, they also traded for some relief arms from the Nationals. So, this team was right there against Toronto last year, got to the CS. They fought, but they weren't good enough. Let's just talk about it. Barely. Let's talk about the lineup right now. As I said, Brendan Donovan at third base, Cal Raleigh at catcher, Julio Rodriguez at center, Josh Naylor re-signed at first base, Randy Arozarena at left, right, Luke Raleigh, Dominic Canzone, he's the DH, J.P. Crawford at short, and Cole Young at second. So the other thing, too, is they have the pitching rotation, probably top 5 in the American League, top 5 in the majors.
Yeah.
With Brian Wu, Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, George Kirby, and Emerson Hancock. Bryce Miller, we were doing a little bit of recon and research before this. He's out right now with a strained oblique. But, this team's solid, man. A team in an AL West that isn't as strong as the East, but still a competitive division. Should be a team that's in there to the end, as I'd like to say.
Yeah, they were right there last season. Obviously, a heartbreaking Game 7 loss to the Blue Jays. Game they were up late. Don't need to relitigate it for Mariners fans. You guys know what happened. The thing I want to see this year with this team, I think last year they kind of answered the question of can this lineup produce at the level that we were looking for it to? Because, in the years past before last season, it was always, that pitching rotation is elite, but where are the runs coming from? Sure enough, their catcher decided to hit 60 home runs last season, which obviously, that's going to help your offense. They finished 3rd in home runs and 10th in OPS. A lot of that was driven by, of course, Cal Raleigh's insane production, probably not even arguably, the best catcher season of all time. The PR on Raleigh has not been great in the WBC, I'm not going to lie.
He's not been good at all.
He's been bad, and then he's also been acting weird with Randy and Josh Naylor. Now, Josh Naylor was getting interviewed after the game last night, Friday, after U.S. beat Canada. He was saying they're good, they're best friends, like it's all just a joke. Naylor was kind of going in for the banter. But the beef with Randy and Cal seems kind of real.
Kind of real?
I don't know how much stock to put into this story because it could just be one of those things where it's like, all right, they get back to camp, it's no big deal, whatever. But Randy does seem like the kind of guy that might hold a little bit of a grudge.
He's a prideful guy. And look, I think when we talk about this team this year, I think Cal Raleigh, he's the de facto superstar on this team. It remains to be seen if he can get 60, which you and me both will say it on pod. He won't hit 60.
I can go out there and say he won't hit 60 home runs.
Catcher's a tough position. Let's just be honest. It's probably the hardest position, one of the hardest positions in all of baseball, if not the hardest. And, being a great defender as Cal was last year in the past couple seasons and being the hitting, it's just going to be hard to replicate for 162.
If you had to set the over-under for home runs for Cal Raleigh this season, what would it be?
35 or 40?
I would say probably like, I don't know what it is. Like I'd say 40 and a half. I think he'll hit 40. I think he'll hit 40, between 40 and 45.
Really?
I do.
So, you talk about that. I think my biggest thing with this team is, we talk about Cal. Cal Raleigh's rise to stardom was kind of, for the casual, it was kind of something that was just taking people off guard. I mean, you were always big into Cal.
He's on the fantasy team, of course. I was big into everything
but
Cal.
I just think this team is going to ride and go again. It's Julio Rodriguez who we have to put the microscope on. I mean, the biggest complaint with me with Julio is, can you do it for 162? We know Julio is a second half player. He has 5-tool superstar potential. I think he's just as talented as Ronald Acuna. I'll go out and say it. Maybe the bat's not there, but I just think he has the potential to be one of the ones.
Do you have the split? Or are we going to go through the split?
I was going to go through the split.
Yeah, it's every single season.
It's night and day. And I mean, we can look at park factor as a reason, as well as T-Mobile Park is one of the most difficult parks. But let's just look at the splits for the past 2 seasons. In 2025, the first half he hit 252, 313, and 417 slug and a 731 OPS during the first half. In the second half of the season, in 2025, he hit 290, 341, 560 slug. So that's over 100 points extra in slug and 900 OPS. So again, that's a 170-point jump, like ridiculous jump. Other thing too, as I said, T-Mobile Park is not a great park for them. Julio hits 296 away in 80 games, and at home he hit 236. OBP was 306 home, 341 away. Slug 369 home, 571 away. Let's go look at 2024. In the first half, he hit 267. Second half, he took 285. OBP 318 to 336 in the second half. Slug 372 in the first half, 482. He's one of those guys, when the weather gets hotter, he kind of turns the corner. And I mean, home and away splits, again, 242 at home, 302 away for Julio. So
that was 24.
That was 24.
I was looking at Cal. Sorry, I don't want to get off. But you were wondering, last year he had 28 home runs at home, 32 on the road. So pretty even splits there. But the slash line was very well favored toward away games. So it's just a tough place to hit, and maybe that's the thing with Julio.
I just want to see Julio just do it.
He has an MVP in him at some point in his career.
Just not right now with Aaron Judge existing and Bobby Witt Jr. I just think so. But I just think if he can put it together for the whole season, I think we'll have a really different conversation. Because I feel like 2 years ago and a year ago, we were having conversations like, who is this guy?
He's only 25.
Yeah, but we still have conversations on him. I think it's always been like we're waiting on him to just take that leap.
Yeah, I think so. It's if you put him in Boston, like, oh my God, imagine him in Boston. I know whatever structurally with the team it doesn't make sense, but like that stadium, the Green Monster, like he's in one of the worst, if not the worst place to hit.
I just think it's also. League. I think you also have to put an asterisk on Boston because center field is a very tough position to cover in Boston. That's a very tricky outfield.
Awkward stadium.
But the whole point is Julio. We need to see it over 162. We know you can be, all MLB first team. When we look at center fielders in the game. Like, he's probably the most talented one.
He's the best center fielder. It's a weak position, but he's the best.
I don't want to say the best, but he's probably has the most talent.
I think he's the best.
Between him and PCA, who has more talent? Like, raw talent.
Julio's a much better hitter consistently than PCA. PCA needs to prove that he can do it over 162. But that's
the same thing. That's the same debate you have. If you're taking Julio with PCA, Julio is the better hitter, yes, but who's the better defender?
PCA
is damn near an 80-grade defender out in center field. That's the thing. So it's like, what are you taking? I mean, look, case in point, if the Mariners want to go on a run, they need Julio. I'm not saying he needs to be away or second half splits, but we need something close to that for a full 162. And that's my thing with Julio. Maybe this WBC kind of jumpstarts him into starting out fresh into the new season.
We saw it in 23 with Acuna. That was the year he put up that absolutely historic
40-70, 50-70, 40-70 season he had?
Yeah. It was 40-70?
Yeah, something like that.
70 stolen bases, yeah.
But that's my hand with Julio. We need to see it from you because we know Cal won't do it. Opinions are out on Randy. Randy's a guy that's mercurial to say.
I really like bringing Josh Naylor back. I thought he's talked about it at length how much he loved playing in Seattle. He was really glad that he got traded from Arizona to Seattle at the deadline last year. Another thing you got to take into factor with the Mariners is they have a really loaded farm system. You mentioned Cole Young's going to be starting at second base. He's battling right now with Colt Emerson, who's one of the top prospects in all of baseball. We should see him up at some point this season even if he doesn't make the opening day roster. And they have a surplus of arms even in the farm system as well. Cade Anderson, Ryan Sloan. They are in a really healthy place right now organizationally. I thought the Brendan Donovan trade was a really good move. He's got 2 years left to control. He's going to slot right in at third base, which was, the Eugenio Suarez trade didn't really work out for them last year in terms of regular season production. He obviously hit the most important Mariners home run in recent memory. They didn't end up winning that series. That was a huge grand slam. I think Brendan Donovan at third is going to be a good piece. Cole Young, Emerson at second base, they'll figure it out there. I think they could be in a better spot. I would argue that's an upgrade over Suarez and Polanco, even though I know Polanco was incredible in the postseason last year.
Because this was my next point. Let's look at both teams. The rotation is virtually identical from this year and last year. Maybe they're a little bit more healthier this year.
Well, that was the point that was the point I was going to make earlier, and I got away from it. I want to see them. We haven't seen we saw the bats last year. I want to see the arms stay healthy. Last year it was only Castillo and Wu who had 30+ starts. Gilbert, Kirby, and Miller all missed significant time. Miller had 2 IL stints with elbow inflammation.
Yep.
Gilbert missed time with a flexor strain, and Kirby dealt with shoulder inflammation. Now Bryce Miller's already hurt. That was the point I wanted to make. Just close up there, they got to stay healthy.
And Wu also dealt with injury at the end with the pec.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. But
if they have Wu starting, he was 5th in Cy Young voting. They probably beat the Blue Jays last year.
And my whole thing is the pen's also really good. They got Bizzardo, who played really great in the postseason. Matt Brash, who I think has a lot of untapped talent in there. Ferrer, the big acquisition they got from Washington that should
gave up Harry Ford. Ferrer is one of the best defensive catchers. What am I talking about? Best ground ball relievers in the league.
As a lefty too.
Yeah,
lefty weapon, and then they have Munoz closing. My whole point is, I look at this team. Did they get better in the offseason?
Yes.
How?
Brendan Donovan.
Okay,
Brendan Donovan I cannot think more highly of as like a utility, like just type of player that you want on your team. He's not going to go up and put up a 850, 900 OPS, but he's going to play multiple positions, hit you 270, 280, play good defense. I really like him.
Brendan Donovan, so then Brendan Donovan, you're replacing him with Jorge Polanco.
You're replacing Suarez.
Yeah, but it's Polanco because Suarez was there half a season. That's how I look at it.
But I like the way Donovan profiles and fits as a player better than Suarez, because Suarez is a guy that strikes out a ton. He hits a lot of home runs, but Seattle's a really tough place to hit. I just don't think it was the best fit.
I just don't think the team just got better. Like, yes, Donovan's a great player. I agree with you that he's really profiles well into any lineup. I think every team needs a Brendan Donovan if you want to be in contention for a World Series. But I just don't think that they got anything significantly better. I still feel like they're still a bat away. That's always been like my thing with them. They still need a bat. They're still looking for that bat.
And it could be an eternal thing. Like last year it was the Cal Raleigh season that got them over the hump. Maybe this year it's the J-Rod season that gets them over the hump.
But I just still feel like they're a bat away. Comparatively to Toronto, like every team on this podcast will get compared to Toronto this season. Because Toronto, until further notice, is the class of the AL.
Yeah.
And I just don't think this lineup is just better than Toronto's, and I don't feel like this lineup got significantly better or even better.
Okay.
I just feel like, okay, you lost Polanco and Suarez and you substituted him with Donovan, which is still good.
I think it's an upgrade, yeah.
But is it that significant of an upgrade that makes you better than Toronto?
I don't know if they're better than Toronto, but I also think Toronto's due some regression this season.
Is this lineup better than the Yankees lineup?
No, definitely not.
Is this lineup better than Boston's lineup?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think Boston's lineup's that great.
Interesting.
I think they don't have like any power there really. I mean, Roman Anthony could turn into
Super Jesus, yes, but whatever.
The next MVP caliber player from Boston for sure.
But that's my point. I just don't feel like this lineup got significantly better or better. Like, yes, it did get better, but it was just like,
They brought in Rob Refschneider, righty killer or lefty killer off the bench. Good platoon guy. Victor Robles is still there. I don't know. I think the bullpen's really good. We know the rotation is going to continue to be good, especially in that pitcher-friendly park as long as they stay healthy. I feel confident about this team. The over-under is 89.5. Last year they went 90 and 72. I think this team is definitely due a little bit of regression just because Cal Raleigh's not going to hit 60 home runs again this season. The rotation finished 13th in ERA last year, so I think there should be some improvement in that regard. And I think the bullpen is going to continue to be solid.
And I agree. I think this lineup is, I think the rotation is very good. The just whole pitching staff is very good that, if this lineup doesn't get it together, for as much as that's always been the question that we've had on these yearly podcasts, is the lineup good enough, whatever, the rotation will carry. And so 89.5 is the total. I do feel like this rotation can at least get you like more than half the way there. Yeah. And so I'm taking the over.
Okay.
I do feel like they need an outfielder bat, maybe right fielder replacement, DH guy. I don't know. That's just my deal. But I like the mix. I know they got a good mix of lefties, good mix of righties.
The division isn't the best. I think there's good teams here. I don't think there's World Series teams here outside of potentially Seattle. Like I don't see the Astros, Rangers, or A's. Obviously the Angels. I don't think any of those teams are going to make the World Series. I think they win the division. I don't think they win 90 again. I'm high on a lot of other teams that we've already done.
They win 90.
So I think I'm going to go slight under, like 88 wins. They still win the division and make the playoffs, but not 90 wins.
I do think they win 90.
Okay.
Because I just feel like they're better than a lot of these East teams. And these East teams will all cannibalize.
So they're better than Tampa.
They're better than Tampa.
They're not better than the Yankees, in my opinion.
But I think they'll struggle. I think going to Seattle, just to distance and everything, I feel like those series are just going to get split up.
They're Boston. I think
they're better than
Boston. That's a good. They're pretty evenly.
They're better than Boston, but just remember the travel and everything. Like you're going to have to play them in Boston. You're going to have to play them in Seattle, and Seattle's a tough place to play.
Seattle's got a. They always consistently have the most travel miles logged every year because it's so far away from everything.
But I just feel like I just feel like the pitching is just that good. I feel so
good pitching travels for sure.
So
all right, well you're over. I'm a slight under. I have them winning the division.
I do as well.
You do as well. Okay. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. Seattle tomorrow is actually our WBC final pod, recapping the championship game, and then after that Wednesday will be the Mets, and then the Phillies, and then the Yankees, and then the Dodgers. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Let's go Mets.
Catch you guys next time. Peace out.